everybody. Hello Harry and all the technical support. Thank you for listening to me. I decided to, anybody else that watched the video, I decided to make a second video on the same topic. So the render dysfunctions, this is the way I call them. And so therefore I created a whole new track without using any templates, just create the tracks, 4 audio tracks where I put some samples with no musical sense and write some notes on the instrument track, which is massive. So let's go. I already see that for audio tracks is fine under this condition. And let's see what happens. I transform to render audio this one. There is a delay, there is an echo boy on it, so it will be longer. And this goes back to 0 position. This is longer. Everything went fine. And this is selected as it's supposed to be. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna enable the console one plugins and bounce the second track. On the second track I placed a UAD because once Ari told me that it might have caused some sort of problem. I don't remember related to. It was a different problem, but I wanted to try. So I put a UAD and we'll do the transform to render audio. In this case, I guess you won't see much besides the fact that this isn't 0, this is clearly a different shape. And everything was fine, but one single thing. As you can see, A2, the A2 track, the AUD plugin is gone as it's supposed to be. What happened that is not supposed to be is that now the A4 track is selected without me doing nothing at all, just because I enabled the console one. So probably because I've noticed, I've been checking on this for a while. Normally when there is a console one instance open, when you do a transform function, it always goes probably to the next console channel open one, which in this case is not a problem at all, being a tiny session. When you have when you've got a track 15 track away console one, it might be pretty bothering to recatch your position on A2, which you did right now, and check that everything was fine. I just wanted to show this. I think needs to be fixed. Besides, it will probably have written something here about console one. Not really. Sometimes write in the history things when you don't write. But anyway, so probably this will happen. Same will happen here. We'll do it very quick. In this time it didn't. Sometimes it does it. Sometimes it don't. Most of the time it does it. Anyway, the bounce itself of console one also goes smooth, which was something that I was getting worried. So everything is on 0, there are no plugs here, all the tracks are rendered, and if I want to go back with any of them, I can just transform to real-time audio. The UAD is back, and this is the way it appeared before. So under this condition, there is no problem besides the console one problem. There is nothing. But this is kind of not a real life condition. If we go to real life condition, which is the song I've been currently working, and they're already shown yesterday, I wanted to show one more time the problem, just to remind you and see some more additional things. In this song I have a track which is called Thumb A and another track which is called Thumb B. Now I want to render Thumb A, which has got some kind of plugins, so to free up processing power. So I press this one. So look at here, this is selected. Look at here what will happen. Now this will go to solo, and then boom, this goes to solo Thumb B, while we are actually processing Thumb A. So I don't go through the whole process, I cancel it, because I already shown you yesterday what will happen. Of course, and it's clear to understand, as this was solo and not this one, Actually doesn't, what you think that would bounce this one, but in fact here it would be completely empty, as I shown you in the previous video. The plugins here would be gone if I ended the process as it's supposed to be, but here would be completely empty. So this is something really not working. It brings me back to the 90s where you have to export manually. I'll be forced to do so after. And the things doesn't really make me happy unless you guys can find a way to have it done properly. But at the same time, now I want to go back to our fake song here and see what happens with the instrument track. I don't know, just let's play it just to have an idea. Just random thing, nothing. Okay, so now I transform to audio track this one, and flag, as I usually do, preserve instrument track state in order to be able to go back to the MIDI if I want. Everybody knows that, but let's see what happens here. I do it. Here is fine because you see there is the audio, there is the MIDI, clearly showing that you can go back. Here the track is being, the massive is away, the Echo Boy that was here is away, the father is rightly on 0 dB. But what is this track? Just as yesterday, what is this track? What is that for? And most of all, why has got the Echo Boy completely fully enabled? Why the massive is completely full enabled? You know, I'm doing this normally because you want to save CPU power. Then in order to do so, I have to disable here. I mean, workflow wise is not really the best thing. Besides, you got this track completely useless unless you show me the way to use this track in a way or another. That is on your own way. So as you can never have this one here, it doesn't appear at all, it doesn't exist in the arranger. Of course it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist only in the mixer. You have to hide it. And this is the third operation I have to do in order to do this function, in order to get this out of my way, because you want to have things out of your way when you're mixing a number of tracks. So this is probably, if this is the reason that you can go back, that should be really under the hood. I mean, there is no reason, no any advantage, but many disadvantage to having it done so. And it didn't happen this way, I'm pretty much sure. I've been using this program for 5 years. Anyway, let's repristinate the MIDI track, going back here. And of course, I disabled by hand, so by hand I'm gonna enable it. Very convenient. Well, I cannot, you know. You see, I just can. The track is disabled, so let's enable the track. Let's see what happens. The massive here. Okay, I made it reappear because I hid it here. I mean, it's really not working. It's really not working. I have to do too many things to make it reappear when I should just render to audio. This becomes the audio. I close the plugin by itself, and I put it back to audio, and this is the setup I want to see. But let's try. So this is very inconvenient. Very. So let's go and try another option that we got here, which I never use actually. I think most of people doesn't. So not to preserve the instrument track state. That means that we can never go back to MIDI. So basically the massive should go away and the Echo Boy will go away. You cannot go back of it. You'll keep it the way it is. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Boom. And we still got this track that if before had no meaning at all to stay here, no functionality at all, because it was totally useless. but probably it was useless if under the hood, if they disable it, otherwise it just make it worse the way it worked actually. Now you have it just here. What for? What is this for? You cannot even go back here to MIDI. There is not the option, of course, because I asked not to have it. Then why have this additional channel mixer? Because I have to do it manually. Again, the best way to do it in this case is to remove the massive, you remove the track, and you're done. So a big, the opposite of the improvement, sorry, I'm not English speaker, the opposite of an improvement, very well done. And you can make a lot of mistake through the process. You can leave it on, you can have it, the computer overwork without realizing it, because there is this totally useless track around with an instrument open. So lots of problems here, lots of problems. I really hope you guys fix it as soon as possible. Maybe this is happening only to me, but I see a lot of issue happenings only to. But the sum of only two problems, it makes a problem, real problems. Very unhappy since 3.5. I switched from Logic. I went to Studio One. I was very happy until 3.5. There were no major problem. It went smooth. From 3.5 on, loads of problems. Please take care and have a good day, everybody. Thank you for listening.